Do you think this is too much salsa?
Borderline. There's only one way to find out, though.
There is only one way to find out.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us. My name is Kyle.
And I'm Chris. We're excited that you are tuning in this week for HC Kids TV.
Yes, we have some exciting facts that we're going to share with you as we continue our Up North series. So we're going to give you some knowledge bombs, you could say.
We want to tell you the truth, the real truth about everything you need to know about Up North. Really true things.
Okay, so Chris, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Did you know that Mackinac Island is actually famous for its Florida oranges?
No, get out.
Yes.
Mackinac Island?
They've been growing them for centuries up there. Nothing is
Really?
better, I will tell you, nothing is better in January than to go to Mackinac Island and get some Florida oranges.
Really, in January?
It's incredible.
I would have thought Florida was famous for Florida oranges.
They totally stole it from us.
Hold on. This is important. Do we actually transport from Mackinac down to Florida? Is that where they get their oranges?
Has to be.
Wow. You know what? Well, I got to tell you something, too. Kind of in that general vicinity, in that area, we have something in Michigan called the Up. Now, it's called the Up. It's kind of like a part 2 version of Michigan. And it's called the Up because you got to go up to get there. And a little known fact about Up is that it's only accessible by submarine. So I don't know if you knew that, but just the only way to get there.
I thought there was a bridge.
Not that I've seen. That's false. I don't know who told you that, but I definitely can't see one from my submarine. So yeah, if you ever want to visit the Up, Kyle, just let me know, and I'll have to move some things around on my submarine, but I'll definitely make some room for you. Come on.
Oh, definitely. That
Come
sounds
on up.
awesome. I would love to visit the Up in your submarine. Did you know that there are tons of lighthouses near the Up north, but the actual purpose for a lighthouse is so that you can do whale watching at night?
Really?
Yes.
I would not have guessed that.
Humpback whales, beluga whales, narwhal.
All of those things?
All of those whales are up
What
there.
about dolphins? Can you see dolphins?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. At night? In
At
a lighthouse?
night. That's what the
That's
lighthouses
what they're
are for.
Dolphins, penguins?
Yes.
Penguins too.
Yes.
What about like crabs? Do you do any crab watching at night?
You know, I would say most of the crab watching is during the day. That's the optimal time to see crabs.
Kind of unfortunate. I was hoping to see a crab and a whale in the same moment.
You know, you kind of get overwhelmed by the size of a whale, and they're all over the place, and dolphins dancing around in the water, and
wow, so much for them up north.
That's why there's so many lighthouses, so you don't miss a beat.
Well, that's awesome. And you know what? The last fact we want to hit you with this week is Sleeping Bear Prunes. Now, maybe you've heard of this location, but Sleeping Bear Prunes is it's a spot you can go to kind of remember all about a family of bears that they fell asleep by the water with their paws in the water. And their paws got really pruny. And so it's just a spot that you go to up north where you can just kind of see where the bears got pruny. So they call it Sleeping Bear Prunes.
Wow.
And it's a nice spot.
That happens to me. You're in the swimming pool too long, and you come out, and your hands look like, I say raisins, but
Yeah, I imagine how the bears felt.
They waking up and their hands are all pruny, and
I know.
Poor guys.
They call the Paw Patrol.
Yes. But right now, we have our wilderness expert who's out in the wild right now, taking a look at some nature. So let's go check it out.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me again for another episode of Professor Shark Swallows, here as we venture through up north Michigan, and I've been tracking across the wilderness a spotted highland kangaroo, only native to the state of Michigan. So I found it grazing in this forest, so let me turn the camera around real quick so you can get a good look at it, and there we go. So as you can see, it's jumping across the plains with its babies following closely behind it. I can't tell if it's a boy or a girl. possibly the mother with the children following closely behind it. But it seems to have taken refuge in this field, and it's maybe trying to dig for some water? I can't really tell. Let me know in the comments what you think. What is it doing over there? Seems to be jumping on all fours, and now it's stretching up, it's standing up. Oh no. Oh no, it spotted me. It spotted me. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta run. Run. Well, I seem to have made it to safety. That kangaroo was very fast. So, this has been Professor Shark Swallows here, up North Michigan, HC Kids up north. We'll see you next time. Be safe out there.
And we're back.
And we've got a game, Chris. We are going to play a little game called How Much is Too Much. We've got our chips, we've got our salsa. And the name of the game is How Much Salsa is Too Much Salsa.
I don't know that there is too much, is it?
We're gonna find out, Chris. All right, let's see here. So
I'm gonna go with a cheesy guy here.
yeah,
Just get a little bit.
a little bit.
Now for one bite, like that seemed kind of like a lot of salsa, like on my chip.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
it was good. It was.
I like that a lot.
You might think the perfect amount of salsa, but we're gonna keep
You know
going.
what?
We're gonna find out if it is or not.
Is this too much? You think?
We'll find out.
You know what? We crossed a threshold there, but
I taste more salsa than chip. It's overwhelmed the chip.
that is very safe to say.
I think I'll do a little bit more.
You know what? I don't think I got enough though, so I'm just gonna go ahead and you know, you mind? No?
Go for it.
All right. Do you think this is too much salsa?
Borderline. There's only one way to find out, though.
There is only one way to find out.
Well, Chris, was that too much?
Oh,
And that, boys and girls, is too much.
Alright, what's happening, HG Kids? Today, I am here getting ready for our Up North series, and I figured I would show you my packing process just so that you know what to pack so you're ready for when you take your trips. Alright, so I've got my suitcase here. You can see it's got a few different compartments, and one of the life hacks here when it comes to packing your suitcase is to pack extra storage into your suitcase, because not only do you want to have all this room to use, but you can also have this room and this room if you just like put your toolbox in here just like that. Now not only do you have all the room of the suitcase, but you also have all the room inside the toolbox. That is my first recommendation. We got our toolbox in here. Next, though, you have the issue of how do you pack your shoes. So, like, I've got this pair here, I've got these nicer ones here, and I've got these here. And you might be wondering, okay, what's the best way to pack them in there? So, sometimes, if your suitcase doesn't come with it already, I was fortunate enough to get a nice luggage set for Christmas that also came with this bag here that you can use for shoes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to load all my shoes up into this bag here. Just gonna grab these here. Start putting them in one at a time. So let's try to put both of these in at one time. Alright, and there we go. You got 3 pairs of shoes all neatly packaged in this bag. And again, put that in the suitcase because not only do you have all this space, this whole suitcase here, this toolbox, but you also have this bag as well. So it helps you save a lot of room when you use extra baggage. All right, so now we're going to pack our swim gear, and I have this extra bag here that I can pack my swim gear in. We've got our swim trunks here. Mine have some sharks on them. Shout outs to Professor Shark Swallows. Hopefully I'll run into him up north. So we've got our swim trunks. We've got a nice towel here. Sometimes I also like to bring a bottle of water just in case, like, you know, I don't feel like getting in the water. Like, I want to go down to the beach and my friends are in the water and I don't want to miss out on the water experience, but I don't necessarily want to get into the water. So you bring yourself this, you can just like whoop, whoop, spray yourself down a little bit. So if you're like me, you also have a swim hat. I found that this helps me swim a lot faster. I don't know about you boys and girls, if you have your own swim hats. Mine is pretty cool, so I'm going to make sure that I pack that. Next, this is one of my favorite swim toys. I put it in the water and basically you press down on it like that and it makes bubbles appear, which is a lot of fun. I could play with this thing for hours, honestly. Like, you just get a good rhythm going and you just And then last but not least, for swimming, if I ever like accidentally step in water, get into my shoes, or like get some water in my hat, I always like to have this little cup that I use to just scoop the water out. It's nice and handy, especially, you know, getting in the toe section of my shoes there, trying to get everything out. So I like to keep the cup handy at all times with me here. All right, so once you're done getting all that together, you can just throw that in the suitcase there. All right, so I've got my tent here. I have my one-man tent with me. Basically, you want to just tuck this right inside there. There, you want to zip this up so it doesn't escape. And then, all you gotta do is seal it up, and you're good to go. All right, well, this has been Packing Hacks with Steven. I hope that you found this helpful and that you can use this information to have a lot more fun up north than you could before, because you can save on so much more space with just these simple tricks here. So I'll see you guys next time.
Hey, we love being able to laugh along with you, hopefully make you laugh a little bit with something. Not like that. But you know what? One of the things we love even more is to be able to encourage you. And with that, we encourage each other too. But our series this month is called God Knows. And we've been talking about what God may know best for us and some of the needs that we have.
Yeah, so check out this message.
Hey there, this week we are continuing our Up North series, and I am outside in the glorious Up North to tell you guys about what we are learning today. And we're going to be continuing our message and talking about how God knows what we really need. And this week we're specifically going to be talking about responsibility, because God knows that we do need responsibility in our lives. And last week we took a look at some stuff that happened in Genesis, the very beginning of the Bible. And this week we're going to continue that as well. So we're going to take a look at Genesis chapter 2, verse 15, and it says, "The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and to care for it." Now, the man that they're talking about is Adam. And it's important to understand that God didn't just put Adam in the garden to live there. He put him there specifically to take care of it. He gave Adam the responsibility of caring for the land. And a lot of times, responsibility equals work. It's not just living there and living off the land. It is taking care of the land so that it can provide what they need to live. And that's a really important thing to remember, that a lot of times responsibility equals work. And you can think about when you're planting flowers even. You can't just take some flower seeds and dump them in a pile of dirt and expect your flowers to grow. You know, you have to take care of it. You have to plant the seeds. You have to water them. You have to fertilize them. If any weeds start growing, you have to pick the weeds. Sometimes you have to take a plant and put it in a bigger pot because it's gotten so big that it's no longer going to keep living in the pot that it's in. You have to take the responsibility to care for the plants in order for them to grow. And responsibility is good for us. And it's so good for us that it's one of the first things that God gave us. Remember, in Genesis is when God created the world. He created the world, the people, the plants, the animals, he created everything. And then right after that, in chapter 2, we see that God gave us responsibility. So it was one of the very first things in the Bible that he gave to us because he knew that we needed it. If we didn't need it and it wasn't important, he would not have given it to us right at the beginning of the Bible, right after he created humans. Responsibility can be taking care of stuff that we have. It's not always doing something. Sometimes it's just caring for what we have. If somebody gives you a gift that's something and you go and you ruin it, maybe you throw it on the floor and you step on it and it gets broken, that's not being responsible for it. So we also have to be responsible for the stuff we have, not just our actions. And sometimes being responsible can be a lot of hard work. Sometimes it could be things we don't want to do. It could be chores. It could be like vacuuming the entire house or taking out the trash. But there's another verse that's really important to remember when we're talking about being responsible for things we don't want to do. And that comes from Colossians chapter 2, verse 23. And it says, "Work willingly at whatever you do, as though you were working for the Lord rather than for people." Let's think about that for a second. How differently would you act doing your chores if God himself had asked you to do it? It's just crazy. Maybe your parents ask you to vacuum the house and you're like, oh, I don't want to do it. Try to get your way out of it. You try to think of something else you can do instead. Imagine if God himself had said, I want you to go take care of this. I want you to vacuum the house, or I want you to go take out the trash. How much more pride would you take in your work? You would make sure that that was the best time you have ever vacuumed the house. The house would be spotless. Well, God's telling us that's how he always wants us to act. Instead of acting and doing something halfway or not giving it all of our effort like we may normally do, he wants us to act as if he himself has asked us to do this task. So next time you have a chore, I want you to think about that. Next time someone asks you to do something you don't want to do, I want you to think about being responsible and doing it as if God himself had asked you to do it. So the question I want to leave you with that I want you to think about throughout your week is, am I learning to be responsible today? And am I learning to be responsible this week? Am I thinking about the choices I'm making? Am I making the responsible choices? Am I doing things as if God himself had asked me to do it? And that's a great thing to remember. So I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time up north.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like this video, comment, subscribe, and then share it with your friends.
Yes, we're here every single week with new episodes, and we have content throughout the week. So again, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on anything we have going on. Hope you have a great week.
I thought there was a bridge.
Not that I've seen. That's false. I don't know who told you that, but I definitely can't see one from my submarine. So.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's such a good line. Okay. Hold on, I feel like my eye is like twitching right now. Oh, I had like an eye booger in there.
Get them eye boogers.
Got it.
How did it come from your nose to your eye? How did it get there?
I guess I just blew too hard.
You're a wild man.